in the whole place.
Yeah!
Shark attack. Hey, guys, look, I don't know about you, but this is exciting times to be part of Primerica. And right now, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about my history of what you need to do so that way you can explode your business. Anybody want to explode their business to the next level? Look, and we're counting on you guys to be the next up-and-coming RVPs, six-figure earners and million-dollar earners. And it all starts here. But when I came into business, it took me 3 years to go to district. You guys need to clap on that one. 3 years. I recruited 3 people in 3 years. I made $101 my first 9 months, my first year. By my 3rd year, I was at $12,000 a year. It sounds good to say a month, but it was a year. But by my 5th year, I made $129,000. And then I made $360 and then went up from there. But I think the most critical change for me was understanding about how to develop people in the field. And see, once I started getting good at developing people in the field, then your income starts to take off. So there's a couple things that you got to do first. First thing you got to do is master your personal production, how to recruit, how to close. And then from there, then you start to learn how to develop the recruits that you got. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a couple things here. Guys, your income is dictated by how well you have people trained, okay? So if you have competently trained licenses, that equals income. Just having somebody licensed doesn't equal them to represent income to you. The way it works here is the last time I checked, for you to get an override, somebody has to write some business. Is that true?
Right. Yes.
So it's in your best benefit to help people to get competent and then to show them how to do the business, and then what happens is your income goes from there. Each productive license to you is an income stream. So it's about productive licenses. So the goal here, guys, is to get new associates, have a system set up where you take them through a field training process so that way they can see it work. And see, one of the things I learned in this business is when I recruited somebody, I had to get them to want to be licensed, to have the desire to want to be licensed. And the way you do that is by recruiting a couple people under them, showing them how it works in real life. Because I could talk to you about the business, but it's nothing like when we go out at the kitchen table and we replace a transfer value policy and you help somebody go from maybe $50,000 in coverage to $300,000 in coverage, and you change their lives and put a college fund on the kids and a retirement plan, and then the family saying to the new person, man, I really appreciate you coming to my house, man, thank you very much. And then when you walk out that house and you look at that new associate, and then you say, so now what do you think of the business? That is more impactful than you just saying, hey man, you can make money, you go get a license, this is how transfer value policy works. That doesn't work. You have to connect to people, and the best way to do it is at the kitchen table. Would you guys agree with that? Who's seen that? When you guys came in, yeah, it's all theory until you sit at the kitchen table. And that needs to be the focus. So the main focus that we have is training people in the field. Show them how to do the business, close, recruit, and how to duplicate. So you need to have a plan for each recruit. You need to have you need to have a plan where you take them from where they start the field training to get licensed and then be productive. So what our focus is, we don't just get somebody licensed and then we leave them. We get them field trained, we get them licensed, and then we go out with them. Some people take a little longer, some people take less time. You got to gauge it by the people you have. So what happens here is if I train you and we get you licensed and trained, maybe you need a couple more field training. And then I'm sitting there watching you do it, and I'm taking notes, and I'm giving you some feedback. Because my goal is, if I could get you to be as good as me, then how good of an income would you have? And if I could get 5 people that good, then how big would your income be? Would you still have a job? See, that's all you gotta focus, that's all I ever focus. But first I have to get good. And I have to practice, and I gotta lead from the front. And I got to practice my stuff, because one thing I learned is people won't follow somebody who's incompetent. So you got to spend time getting good behind the scenes. That way when you go out in the field, it's showtime and you make it happen. So you got to map out the expectations. and the dates of when it happened. Also, you got to commit to the new associate that you'll be with him the whole process. You don't just leave people. Guys, I'm telling you, look, my upline Frank, he didn't leave me. He's still coaching me to this day. See, one thing you got to learn here, guys, is you always need someone there to help you, coach you, and mentor you. They might have to be there in the field with you, but maybe you got to role play, you got to practice some skills, you got to get with them. Maybe you need some help on some closing techniques, on how to recruit, whatever. But you need to do that. If you do that with your upline, then you can expect your downline to do that with you. Because the only way they know how to treat you is by the way they see you treat your upline. Isn't that true? Yeah. So guys, if you're uncoachable, guess what your downlines are going to be? Oh man, you guys are smart. You guys got that one. The way you treat your upline is the way your downlines see, because they watch how to treat you. Make sense? Once licensed, guys, continue to take them to the field to get the experience. That's the focus. You have to focus that way. If you do that, you're gonna duplicate people. Now let me just go over a couple things here. The focus in your business, guys, is to duplicate people. Okay? It's not to see that you got to be great, but when you go out in the field, they got to say this after you get out of the field. That was it. That's all it is. It's that easy. If you're getting this in the field, man, you're awesome. You're the best. Man, that was so great. Guys, you failed. You failed. Because if they say that to you, they're saying, what they're saying is, I can never do what you did. That's why you've got to have a simple presentation. You've got to be simple out in the field, and then you've got to show people that that's all it is. Now, let me ask you a question. If me and you keep going out, and we do the same thing, and you see it's the same thing every time, do you think you can do it? Yes. Now, if you duplicate 5 or 6 people, just 5 or 6, in New Jersey, we have 8 million people. Out of 8 million people, can you find 5 key people that you can teach how to do that to? 5. And then you show them the multiples, how it's going to work. See, guys, I'm focused that way. I don't look at the big things. If you could get to district, and then you could teach people how to get to district, don't worry about division, don't worry about regional, don't worry about RVP, because I think the biggest mix-up is now, okay, how do you develop a division? Guys, it all goes to district leader. If you keep going through the cycle of producing new people, start training a brand new recruit, get them to district, and then once they're in district, guess what you do again? Go get a brand new recruit and take them to district. And guess what you do after that? Get a brand new recruit and get them to what?
District.
You don't want to manage people. The biggest challenge is when somebody goes to district, they think they're a district manager. It says district leader. A leader leads by example. They practice what they preach, and they never ask their team to do what they're not going to do themselves. Isn't that true? True. And if you do that, you're going to start exploding your business. Don't get into management mode. Lead from the front. Encourage your people. Inspire them with your personal production. And that's the focus. If you do that, you're going to explode your business. So guys, I'm real excited right now. This is a great convention. We're coming here. We had a new 6-figure earner just break the ring. We got another one get ready to break the ring this month. And then we just had somebody go over $300,000 in income. And it's amazing because at the last convention, that's right, Shark Attack. At the last convention, he didn't even have his ring, and he jumped 3 diamonds.
Wow.
See, guys, but if you listen, he's developing people. He can't be doing it himself. It's a developing people system. And if you get this down, you're going to explode your business. I'm so proud of this guy. He's number 2 year to date in the Bay Shop Premium. Number 2. That's a big deal, right? Over $300,000 in income. Does anybody want to hear the mindset of the leader that's out killing it? Number 2 in the Bay Shop. I'm so proud of this guy. He's a near-term SVP, just promoted his first RVP. Help me bring up the awesome Louis G. Bart.
I'm gonna go to the restroom. Ask people.
Man, first off,
without God, none of us would be here today. That's very important. It's always give praise to the Lord. But first of all, guys, just a little bit of story myself. I'm gonna let you know about me, okay? And look, when I came into business, it took me, listen to this. When I first came into Primerica, it took me 6 months to get my license. 6 months. And think about it, most people, if they was in business for 6 months where they made no income, what would they do? That's what happens all the time. But what kept me going was the leadership that we have, and with Joe Tanzi and Frank Dillon. And also the biggest thing for me was my goals. You know, the question is, do your goals, do your why motivate you? Your goals, what are your goals? And that's what motivated me every single day. And not to focus on where I was at, and focus on where you're going. Okay, that right there is very, very important. Because the thing is this, if I was focused on where I was at, I wouldn't be here today. Does that make sense? Okay? And what happened, look, it took me 6 months to get licensed. That's my story right there. Okay? And then once the key is this, once I got that license, all right, ladies and gentlemen, that doesn't mean I wasn't working. For the 6 months, we were recruiting every single month, double digit, double digit, double digit. So the key is double digit recruiting, all right? And what happened was, once they got the license, it only took 4 days just to become a district leader with the standard we have, the system we have. And that's very important to move quick and fast, all right? Remember one thing is this, a licensed no team always steals the dream. Remember that, okay? And what happened here is I went full-time in 2000, I remember the day I went full-time, that was 2008, okay? And that was June 2008 on full-time. I made a decision, I was like, man, I gotta do something big to change my life. I can't keep on doing this thing part-time. The only way to go is to go full-time and go full throttle and not look back. And that's what I did, went full-time, okay, in the month of June. In the first month full-time, I made $8,000 as a district leader, guys. And that right there is huge. But I'm more excited than ever because where the company's going, where my people's going right now. I mean, right now, we're running the scoreboard with the district leaders in the company right now. And you want to take a look at the scoreboards really quick. But right now, the biggest decision I've ever made was going to every big event. Every single big event. And you know, it's funny, the 6 months I told you I was licensed, do you know, when I got my license was the first time I went to the convention? That's 6 months. I got licensed right the day before I had to go to convention. So that was a big break for me, okay? And 2 years ago, like Joe said, I came here with 5 people. 2 years ago, 5 people. They didn't even have the ring then. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, wasn't even in the book. Came with 5 people because that's all I had. All I had was 5 people, so everybody was there. And the beautiful thing about it is that I caught the vision being here, taking notes, listening to the leaders around the country here. And that right there, once I caught the vision, I made sure that I didn't waste it. I made sure when I went back, we took action. So the key is here, you're gonna be here this week. But the question is, what are you gonna do when you go back home? Everybody got that? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna sit on your behind? Or are you gonna make things happen? When you have so much fuel, so much energy, that's the time that you need to take action. And that's what we did. We went out, and look, when we did RV, it took me, again, 6 months to get 1 license. 6 months to get 1 license. After we came back from the convention, we went out, produced 8 licenses in July, went over 35,000 production with 48 recruits. And look, listen, we exploded our business. We've done almost $100,000 base shop, which we're going to do $100,000 base shop this year. We're going to go over that. And now, back 2 years later, 50 plus people here, 50 plus people here, 2 years later, over 300 in income. I mean, if that don't get you fired up, I don't know what's going to get you fired up. But that right there is a big story, huge. The question is, what's going to happen for you? What's your story? And right now, we got the #1 district leader in the country, which is the